Here are a few items on your screen. Can you tell me what's common between them? You may wonder what can be common among these completely different things? But the simplest common thing is the material that these articles are made up of. Yes, they are all made up of plastic. Plastic is a very common term used by us every day. Rather, it forms the most integral part of our lives as most of the articles that we use are made up of plastic. Its light nature combined with its tensile strength gives plastic an advantage over many other articles. But what happens when a plastic article breaks or completely gets too old to use? We discard it, don't we? And what happens after it's discarded? Well, the true story begins after plastic is discarded. And why am I saying this? We know that if plastic articles are buried in the soil, they remain the same without getting affected. Plastic can remain unaffected for years together. That is the reason why plastics keep getting accumulated in the environment. So how do we get rid of plastic waste? Maybe we can burn it? Wait, we know that plastic is an artificial polymer. Plastic is made using several molecules which are chemically treated. Which means burning plastic will release harmful chemicals. That's why plastic should not be burned. If we cannot bury plastic and if we cannot burn it, then how exactly do we deal with all this plastic waste? One solution is by recycling it. Yes, not all, but many plastic articles can be recycled. Which means these articles are treated and newer articles can be formed from them. That's fantastic. It indicates no more accumulation of plastic waste. Recycling is not only restricted to plastics. There are several other articles as well that get recycled. For example, paper. We know that even paper should not be buried or burnt. So the best option to deal with paper waste is to recycle it. Recycling of paper involves a process that includes waste papers, newspapers, paper strips, and cuttings and all such wastes as inputs. The output of this is the production of new papers. Another way of dealing with paper wastes is by making articles out of waste paper. Many beautiful articles to decorate our homes can be made using waste paper. Yes, it's true. Waste paper can be converted into a soggy paste, which on drying gets hard enough to form a good product. Thus, reusing is also another option that helps in reducing the accumulation of paper waste. Lastly, an extremely important thing for us to remember is that even though we have the option of recycling and reusing the articles, the first approach we should always take is to reduce the use of things that can generate waste. For example, instead of plastic bag, we can opt for a cloth bag that can be used several times. This gets us to the concept of 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reducing the use of articles that can generate waste is the first important thing we need to keep in mind. If the article gets older or has no use anymore, then we should try reusing it for some other purpose. And lastly, when it has no possible way of reusing or simply a waste, then it should be recycled. These steps can help us lower the concern of wastes that generate a threat to the environment that we live in.